What is the best John Lennon song with the Beatles? What a marvelous question. Let's take a look. We did Ringo and we did George, so now it's time for good old Johnny, and this time it's a lot more difficult. Unlike the other two, he was one of the main songwriters of the band, so while George has 22 songs, John has 73. Even then, there's an obvious answer. I've said it time and time again. A Day in the Life is one of the greatest achievements in the history of music, but even though he's the main songwriter, Paul also has major writing credits. Not that it makes any difference, but if we're talking about his best song, I think it's more interesting and reasonable to go for a song where he's the only or main songwriter. Luckily, there's another song he made that also helped in the process of revolutionizing music as a form of art. Actually, he has a couple: Tomorrow Never Knows, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and Strawberry Fields Forever. Can you imagine driving around in your car in early 1967, listening to the radio filled with typical 60s pop rock hits, and then boom, your mind is blown away? The impact of Strawberry Fields Forever goes beyond its influence, because even though the Beatles had been making experimental music for years by then, this was the moment they became a major figure of the psychedelic music scene. The way it goes from casual simplicity at the beginning of the song to complex harmonies as soon as John Lennon jumps in is one of the most hypnotizing moments in the band's discography. Voice mods, changes in the tempo, ambient sounds, and off-piece percussion create an atmosphere of colorful chaos that sounds weird enough today, so one can only imagine how listening to this song back in 1967 would have felt like. When it comes to John Lennon, there's a number of songs we could go for, but aside from A Day in the Life, there's no other song that comes even close to the level of impact, influence, proficiency, and overall genius of Strawberry Fields Forever.